All right. I'm still waking up. My hands are still waking up. I should do my exercise. I gotta turn off the music though. Turn off the bubble machine. All right, and I gotta move this window over. Good morning. Anyway, it's morning here. It's just now noon where you are, Bruce. Right? Or does Florida have two time zones? Is the Panhandle on a different time zone than? It might be actually. Now that I think about it. All right, tuning up. And just so you know, and we only have two of them here, but there are only 3 triad shapes. We've done 2 of them. I'm going to go ahead and show you the third. I don't have it written out, but I feel like we can kind of we can do this from memory, which might even be better. But we've got the first shape, the G shape, is this, right? That first G shape that we have is there. It's a little dark, isn't it? I'm going to aim my light a little bit better. Might be the opposite problem now, but let's see. Okay, that's better. Correct the lesson. Oh, did I not change the lesson number? Oh, pfft. No, it just feels like it's lesson 1678. That's funny. I thought I hit delete before I hit 8, but I guess I didn't. Have you ever done that? Okay, so but then yeah, this is the one of the G shapes, and the root is in the middle there, G. So whatever note that is, that shape will be that chord. So this would be A flat, this would be A, this would be B flat, this would be B, your C, C sharp, D, E flat, E, F, F sharp, G. So that being said, we could go like this. So I'm playing G, and then bar your first finger at the 4th or 5th fret, and play those same three strings, the fourth string, the third string, and the second string, and you've got a C chord. And you go back to G, and you move your first finger up to the 7th fret, and you've got a D chord. And then back to G, okay? Okay, so that's one of the shapes, all right? One of the shapes. The other shape we see is this one, okay? And it occurs here. You can see the C is here. And the C, we have the advantage of having that open G string, so we only need 2 fingers for it. But this shape, we're gonna need 3 fingers for. Okay? And we have the 3rd on the bottom, like here's the D version of it. 3rd on the bottom, F sharp in this case, A, the 5th is in the middle, and the root is on top. So whatever note that is, that's what triad this is, okay? So this is D, D flat, C, D flat or C sharp, D, E flat, there's E, here's F, here's F sharp, and here's G, okay? This is the main one we want to get to. So we got this G, then we can go to this C, to this G, to this D. So maybe take your hand off, go, do the G, and then do this G. So I'm all the way up at the 7th fret. I've got my 3rd finger on the 9th fret of the 4th string, my 1st finger's on the 7th fret of the 3rd string, and my 2nd finger's on the 8th fret of the 2nd string. And then the 3rd shape we haven't learned yet. Are my gardeners here, or is that the neighbors? Or is that a plane? I can't tell. The 3rd shape actually should be fairly familiar, but here's the G shape here. Okay, this is the root now. The 3rd, so we're just going 5th fret on the 4th string, 4th fret on the 3rd string, and 3rd fret on the 2nd string. Say that 3 times fast. Germany, what's going on, Mama? Okay, so now that we have this one, we have all 3. So here's G, that's 1 G. Now, there won't be a quiz on this, okay? But just for those of you who are thinking, well, what inversion is that? So this would be, since the 5th is in the bass, so we have 3 notes in a triad. And they're written up there, the parenthesis note is the 7th. Because I added 7th notes in there, because 7th notes just make it sound so much more fun and skew it a little bit more to the blues side of bluegrass. Less grass, more blues. So a triad has 3 notes. And in the case of the G, it's G, B, D. 1, 3, 5, or root, 3rd, 5th. Okay. If the root is in the bottom, if the lowest note, like in this case, is the root, then that's called root position or root inversion. Root inversion. Okay. This version here, where I was at the 9th fret, 7th, and 8th fret. Okay. And again, this is movable. Whatever note this is the root here. But the 3rd is on the bottom. And that's called first inversion. Not 3rd inversion, first inversion. In other words, it's the next, here's the root, and then the next inversion, this would be the first inversion, and this would be the 3rd inversion, second inversion. So the second inversion has the 5th in the bottom. So I'm just confusing you, but root inversion has the root on the bottom, first inversion has the 3rd on the bottom, and second inversion has the 5th on the bottom. And there is a 3rd inversion and 4th inversion, so forth. If we put the 7th on the bottom, that would be the next note, right? So we have root, 3rd, 5th, and 7th. So that version up here, that chord next to the G triad up here that I diagrammed over here, okay? That one right there. That technically, you could think of that as a 3rd inversion chord, but we're not gonna, like I said, there's no quiz on this, so you're not gonna be anything you need. Okay, so one exercise we might do is an exercise where we go through all the inversions up and down. And we're starting with the lowest one, not necessarily starting with the root. You could start with the root, go to the first, and go to the third inversion if you want to do that, or you could go root, first inversion, and that's the second inversion there. Or this is it. Sam, I still haven't opened my, I'm going to do, I think I'm going to do the unboxing video today. So I haven't even seen the thing. It could be broken in 3 pieces for all I know. And if that's the case, I might post it anyway. It might go viral. I need another viral video, for crying out loud. Yes, please hit the like button. And also, if you're not a subscriber, subscribe. Because I am starting to get more, I'm starting to go back to content. Also, I am going to start doing little tips and things like that on TikTok. So if you want to follow me on TikTok, it's the Strahle. Bob Schumann followed me, so I followed him back. So I don't know if any of you followed me, let me know, and then let me know your handle, and I'll follow you back, okay? But Bob followed me. Oh, yeah, Bob, you saw that I followed you, right? In fact, that was your first follow. So let's see. So if we start on the open position, the open one here, which is technically the just the 3 strings open, it's technically second inversion, but I'm going to stop using the word inversion now. I'm going to stop talking about it. We're not going to worry about that. It's really, I don't ever think, what inversion am I playing? You know, I never think that when I'm playing it. I'm just going, here's a G chord, here's a G chord, and here's a G chord. Okay? And these are great. This is kind of like, it's almost kind of like a mini, caged method lesson, okay? This shape you can think of as either the G shape, or you could also think of it as kind of the A shape, right? Because we're only dealing with 3 notes. We're not dealing with the whole fretboard. Hey, morning, Lena. Good to see you. Okay, so play this, and if you want to do the pattern, our pattern, which is down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Okay, that's a pattern. And then the next shape, let's go to this one. 5, 4, 3. Okay. So I'm 5, 4, 3 on the 4th string, 3rd string, 2nd string. That's where we're going to stay. Now the picking pattern is alternating, pure alternating. Down, up, down, up. That's the hard one. Down, up, down, up. Okay, the next shape is up here at the 7th fret. 9, 7, and 8. Okay. All right, and so we have down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And so, and then let's go back down to this shape. Okay, so we're going back down to this is I said I wasn't going to say it. This is the root inversion one. So it's got the G on the bottom there. So down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And if we want, we can practice this right here. We can do it with the open. Go back to the open string. Pluck the open B string up and the D string down. Just do that. Oh, I'm sorry. It's the other way around. Well, we're going to need that too. Right there, we're going to need it. But let's go down, up. That's the hard one. Okay, so down on the B string and up on the D string. You really have to hop over that G string. The junior high kid and you just laughed when I said hop over the G string, didn't you? Yeah, made in Mexico. I've got my so let's see, what did I say? Down, up, down, up. Yeah, down, up. Well, I wish I could see my strings better. Down, up, down on the B string, up on the D string. Yeah, I've already blocked like 3 people on TikTok because just being trolls. I'm like, but I have to turn my volume down. But a video that Alex and I did this weekend, he posted them, went very viral. And I've already got 300 followers in just a couple days. But let's see. Yeah, it was, this one's almost got 4,000 views. I don't know if you can see that. It's kind of hard to see because I can turn the brightness down. That's part of the problem. See, there's me and Alex. So we played through 3 different songs with 3 different instruments. We did. It was fun. It was fun. We're gonna do some more of those. It went. I wouldn't say viral necessarily, but 30,000 views is a lot for Alex. So, okay. So the use of this, again, here's the shapes. Open, 3 open strings, 5, 4, 3, and then 9, 7, 8. And then if you want, you can go up there. But the cool thing is you've got this thing that will get you up the fretboard if you want to work your way up the fretboard. So say we're playing. And I want to be there for the D chord, for example. Let me show you. Let me do it with the context of the music. So like something like that. So you can see where it can be used as a tool to move you around to a higher register very quickly. And you can also do it as a rhythmic tool. I mean, the caged method is both equally good method to learn rhythmic ideas and soloing ideas. So it's both, the caged method is both necessary for rhythm players and lead players. And then this shape here, 5, 4, 3. That shape is part of this chord, right? The G major bar chord, which is an E form. So that's the E form. So again, this one was either the G form or the A form. You can think of it either one of those, G and A. And then this one really is very solidly a C shape, right? The C form. So I mean, even when we look at the C triad here, it's just basically, 60% of this chord by playing these 3 notes. So let's play this again. Let's do the G open. The open G, the one written up there in the corner. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, and into this triad here, 5, 4, 3. So we're going to go down, up, down, down. I'm sorry, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, and then we're going to go up to this triad, which is 9, 7, and 9, 7, and 2. Not 2, second figure. 8, 9, 7, 8. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Okay. Yes. Yeah, exactly. No matter where you are, no matter what triads we create, we're going to have that consistent. It's always going to be root, first, second, root, first, second. Or it may start on the second. Like here, we start on the second inversion here. The next inversion is going to be root. Exactly. 100% true. So that's what John is saying there basically is that the triads will always go in that order. 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5, or root, inversion, first, inversion, second inversion, then repeat itself. So that's something you can count on. So for example, the shape after this one will always be this one. So if I'm on C and I'm looking, if I'm playing this C here, right, which is got the next one's going to be this shape, and then the next one's going to be that shape, or this shape. And if I'm starting on this one, the next shape is always going to be, triad shape is always going to be that shape, and then the next one's going to be, they're always going to be in the same order. I mean, you can even do something like that. As either a rhythmic thing or a kind of a soloing thing. I like, you know, I like messing around, adding notes to it. Some of the triads, like this one, are real easy to add notes in front of or on top of. You know, I mean, that's basically how Keith Richards sees the fretboard, with just this. Sam, I would say you could kind of see the D shape there, but I think it's more of a C form, right? So it's coming from that. See, even the D shape, like I would play the D shape would be, that would come and play on the top 3 strings, okay? So if we're doing the top 3 strings, the triads, just so there's no quiz on this, okay? Don't worry, we'll get to this later. But the triads are that one, there's D, and here's another D, and here's another D. So that's definitely D shape, this is definitely A shape, and this is definitely E shape. So when you get to the top 3 strings, for some reason it's more clearly defined. Whereas with these 3 strings, we've got this shape, which I can call either the G shape or the A shape. It's either one. What's the difference between a standard strat and a player strat? I don't know. Does the player strat have a humbucker in the neck? The bridge position? I was looking at some strats the other day at the store. I don't really, my strats, where is it? Oh, I put it, no, it's right here. So here's my main strat. Okay, everybody take a sip, I'm changing guitars. This is my main strat that I play, you know, live and stuff a lot. In the studio, not so much. It's usually back in the back. But it's an American standard, 2000, kind of a see-through white. You can see the grain if you look closely. No switches at all. No electronics. But it is noiseless pickups, although it's all worn off. But these are the noiseless. So they're a little bit nasally sounding to my ear compared to like non-noiseless pickups. But because of what I do and the speed by which we have to work oftentimes, I like the noiseless pickup because then we don't have to go around chasing sound, buzzes, or they don't have to clean up tracks or anything like that. So, all right, let's review the G shapes, and we're gonna do the D shapes and the C shapes and the D shapes too. But so here we go. Here, open. Down, up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Oh, players can have a single coil or a humbucker. Okay. 21 frets. Yeah, mine has 22. So actually, that's not standard. The standard, my 78 Strat has 21 frets. It's a little frustrating because keep thinking it's, I can get to that D note and it's not there. So I kind of prefer so I guess mine's more of a player, I guess. I don't know. But I think it was American Standard. I mean, it doesn't say anything on it. It just says Fender Stratocaster. And of course, serial number. It actually may be a 99, but I bought it in 2000. Okay. I don't know. I don't know if the serial number, it says DN. It's made in the US. DN9 is the first 3 digits, so I don't know. Okay, so there's that first G shape. The next G shape is this one. And then the next shape is this one. And if you want, we can go all the way up. 12th fret, bar the 12th fret, and do that. Let's go back to this one. So again, 9, 7, 8, and then 5, 4, 3, and then open. There's no money below the 7th fret, Eric. Yeah, but in bluegrass, it really makes it a little bit more legit if you're actually have open strings. But on electric guitar, David Gilmour might agree with you. Okay, my garters are here. This won't help much, but gosh. Okay, so. Now we're going to do this. We'll do the 3 C triads, okay? So this one here's the one we learned yesterday, in fact. So 2nd fret, open 1st fret, and we'll do the alternating picking down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Okay. The next shape is just bar at the 5th fret and play those same 3 strings. Okay. So we go down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, and then what the heck is that? Oh, that's the serial number of yours. Okay, and I'm like, what chord is that? 1, 0, 1, 4, 7, 9, 9. I don't have that many strings. Okay. Oh, and there's an X, so that means 1 string is, and then there's something mute on the button. So that's a 9-string chord. Dennis. Okay. So the next shape here is going to be 10, 9, 8. So that's the next shape after this shape is always this shape. Okay. And we have go down, up, down, up, down, up. I don't know if we want to go to this one up here. We don't need to do that, but back down to this one, the 5th fret, bar the 5th fret. Get the thumb behind the neck. That'll help. And then down to the back to the 1st position chord, which is basically a C chord without the bottom note. And hopefully you're getting that picking pattern. I kind of wish I could see you all. Maybe Friday I'll try to create a Zoom, and then Friday after this lesson we can do a Zoom meet and greet for a little bit. I'll post it on the Discord, which I posted a link for the Discord up there. Also, here's the link if you're new for the jam track I was just playing with. I created this jam track, so it goes on for right around 10 minutes, so you don't have to rewind the tape very often. And so, speaking of that, well, let me do the D chord. D chords are going to be very, very similar to the C chord. What we just did with the C chord, we're going to do with the D chord. Okay. So the D chord is going to start here. Okay. So we have 4. It's the chord here down at the bottom here. Okay. 4th fret, 2nd fret, 3rd fret. Okay. And so that's a 1st inversion D triad. We could go down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And then okay, yeah, Aslan joined us. And then the next D one is the 7th fret, just bar it. And that's the 5th on the bottom this time. The root is here on the 3rd string, so if you're looking, oh, but notice that's a D. Okay, so we have down, up, down, up, down, up, and the dream would be to connect all these. And then the last one is this, the E form, right? We're just going 12th fret, 11th fret, 10th fret. And you might have to stop halfway, like on the and of 4 and shift. You could also do 7th chord. Or more than one way to skin a cat. My cat just ran when I said. Okay, a question about Michael. Michael's asking, why alternate picking over economy picking? And we've talked about that yesterday too. I feel like the speed that's involved in bluegrass, particularly when we're just like ripping on these scales, keeping that pattern going. I find that when I do economy picking, and in fact, the song I'm going to write using these shapes, I'll probably have something by Friday, hopefully. It's going to be called, the song's going to be called Not Economical. So, economy picking, I use oftentimes like on electric if I'm doing some kind of like, and again, economy picking is always picking in the direction of the next string. So you're always being prepared. The problem with it for me personally is it feels a little hesitant when I do. I can play faster with alternating picking. And it also creates a different feel it kind of keeps that pulse going. Whereas with economy picking, every time you pick is going to be different. And like, for example, it's weird. I pointed out this yesterday. I didn't realize I was doing this. For years, I was playing what I call 3-per scales. Three notes per string. Call them 3-pers. And I did some lessons on it. If you write the number 3, P-E-R-S, in YouTube and then enter Strahle or whatever, you should find my lessons on it. But I find that when I'm descending, I'm playing pure alternating. In words, I don't use economy picking, but when I descend, I use economy picking. I don't know why I developed that. I didn't even know what economy picking was when I started playing like that. But yeah, so you could do economy picking, but in the spirit of what we started very much day one. See, we're on. This is week 8 of 3 lessons a week. One of the things I said I wanted to do was to work on my alternating picking, and on particularly in the bluegrass realm. So. And it's cool because with the alternating picking, you always are going to have a downstroke on like 3, on 4, and so you can put those accents in there. I feel like it's easier to go from a little chord lick to like regular scale like licks when you're already playing alternating picking. And then basically what happens is you remove that part of the equation out of any kind of thinking that has to happen when you're playing, when you're soloing. If you just know you're going to do pure alternating. And also the other reason, Michael, is it seemed to be that was what I was noticing most of all among bluegrass players, was that when they did those kind of chord licks, they would do more of an alternating thing. And to me, it gives almost a more banjo effect. The chord thing is generally designed, like, because banjo players are always playing rolls. So it kind of sounds like a roll. So I don't know if that helps answer your question. But if nothing else, it's another skill set to have. So if you can play really fast using alternate or it just, to me, it feels like there's a hesitation in there. I can just go so much faster with pure alternating picking. So maybe that's the answer. It's just faster. Economy sounds like it would be faster, right? Because seriously, that's what we learned when we're early on. When you're learning speed, you're like, okay, move the pick as little as possible, play as light as you can, and you can play fast. You know, the heavier you play, the harder you play, the slower you have to go. And I thought that for years and years and years. You know, and that's, I mean, one of my favorite early guitar players was Al Di Meola, and he had such a light touch, and he would, just really, really tight, and then even following guys, watching players like Frank Cabali or someone like that, again, same thing. I mean, they're insanely fast. But then I'm always amazed at the different genres that the guitar players kind of ignore some of those rules. And what, like gypsy jazz, flamenco, bluegrass, and rockabilly, they all play way too hard. And yet so many of them are blazing fast, and it doesn't make any sense. The flamenco thing just totally blows me away, because in classical guitar, you're taught to not do a rest stroke. So a through stroke, you have two strokes, a rest stroke and a through stroke. And a rest stroke is when you pluck a string, like say I'm plucking this D string and I rest on the A string. Okay, that's for volume. Okay, and if I want to play fast, you use a through stroke so that you can recover faster. Because if you're doing a through stroke, you don't have something to land on, so you can't play as hard. You can't put your whole hand into it. You're just using the fingertips. Okay? And so flamenco players rarely use rest strokes. They're always using, they rarely use through strokes. They're always using rest strokes, and yet they're so freaking fast. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. How do they do that? I can't even fathom how fast they go. With rest strokes, it's contrary to the laws of physics, but it works, So, but it's also part of the sound, because keep in mind, flamenco players are often accompanying a singer and a dancer with metal taps and castanets. So flamenco players have to be really loud, and it's one thing to be loud when you're one thing to be loud when you're playing big chords. It's another thing to be loud when you're playing big scales or single notes. So anyway, that was a long answer. Exactly. Bruce, most guitar rules are made to be broken. John asks to see, I'm trying to use alternate picking, but find it still automatically fall back into economy picking without thinking. Somehow it feels more natural for me. And that may be mainly because that's the only way you've ever played it. We've only been doing this alternating picking thing for one day. So that's part of the reason why you go slow. And I'm not going to say to break bad habits, but maybe to break different habits or old habits. Or to change, or to give yourself. It's not good. Your alternating. Your economy picking skills are not going to go away if you develop alternating picking skills. In fact, they might even be enhanced. But it is going to take a while. I remember, there was I still can't do it. There's all these rasgueados on flamenco guitar, and one of them was like thumb down, up. yeah, I can't do it. And it's like I just need to sit down and practice it until I can. It's like thumb up, fingers down, thumb down. But Alex got it down so fast. But then there's other ones that like, which is thumb, pinky, index, which I got down, or the finger index. Let's see, yeah, the index, middle, index. So it's, I got that one. It's just weird. So there's certain things that would be like, oh man, I just got to work on it. It's some that work better for you and others that don't. And Sam, that would seem Newton's first law of motion. Yeah. So Sam's Newton's first law of motion: an object in motion stays in motion unless acted upon by an unbalanced force. And that to me kind of explains alternating picking, because once you're in that mode, you know. Yeah, always go slow. And that's kind of why I'm trying to, you know. And I do think the natural fall to position is economy picking if you've been doing it for a while. So don't stress it. And if you can make it work with economy picking, and again, just so for those joining us don't know what economy picking is, basically what you're doing is you're always picking in the direction of the next string. So that pattern will be down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down. But I feel like there's a limit to the speed of that. Now, if I was picking it, you know, it'd be just. And again, when I pick that, that's where it feels like a banjo riff. You know, I go, oh, it almost feels like when a bluegrass player's doing, you know, going. When they're doing something like that, I always think they're trying to kind of imitate what a banjo would play, because banjo players often are just playing chord shapes and then embellishing those shapes. And again, we haven't gotten into the embellishment yet, but I'm kind of doing the. All right, I'm playing this triad. You gotta touch my face so we can take a sip. The force be with you, Sam. That's right. Exactly, Aslan. It's a great observation. But what I was doing, I was playing a G triad, and I was adding the sixth, and I was adding the seventh, the flatted seventh, the F, back to the E, which is the sixth, and I mean, the next step is to try to work those triad riffs into regular scales, and that's kind of what I was doing there with the jam track. That's hard. Okay. Anyway, again, just to reiterate, remember I'm learning bluegrass along with you guys, so I'm making lots of mistakes, but we're trying to learn some of the tools. So let's see. Somebody said something that I wanted. It was 36 watching. Oh, good. It's getting there. What time is it? Well, it's been 45 minutes. We do get a bump right around now. So, yeah, 35, 36 peak so far. That's the peak. And then I think I'm getting more subscribers right now because of the TikTok videos. And I'll probably... The problem with having all these social media platforms is that you've got to create, you're constantly doing content for it. And the only reason I'm doing TikTok is to move people, generate subscribers for YouTube. And the first video I did has almost 10,000 views, which is pretty amazing for your first video. But that is largely because Alex's video that I was in has 30,000 views. So, is that right? It says 29,600. And then the other one we did together only has 3,000 views. I don't understand. It's weird. You know, I think we both thought it was going to be pretty viral. But if you follow, did anybody follow me? And I'll follow you back. I could look at all my followers and see if I recognize it. So I've got 300 already followers, which is crazy for less than 72 hours on the platform. And I don't really, other than Bob and my son, I don't really recognize any of the. It's funny though, the For You thing is not really. It's like it's all like either scams, ways to scam Amazon, or like home redesigns, and I'm like, what? Those are just weird. Like, they're not giving me any guitar ones or anything like that. Yes, I would recommend, Dennis, getting your guitar set up professionally. You know, one good time will set it up for quite a while. So, let's see. I don't have any new PDFs I can upload yet. Nothing against bluegrass, but why can't we learn red grass or purple grass or periwinkle grass or something like it? Yeah, it's just the bluegrass thing. For one thing, it covers a lot of bases. A lot of my subscribers, a lot of the viewers here, they play acoustic guitar, so it kind of makes sense. You can do it on electric guitar. Everything we're learning could be transposed to other styles. I mean, I don't do a lot of open scales on electric guitar, but I definitely do sometimes. And some of the, when I'm doing country things, it definitely comes in play. And we're also gonna, this also I would say bluegrass, and it's also kind of country guitar. Very, very, very closely related. And then, so learning to play some scales in open position is fun, and having a chord progression. And keep in mind, if you go to A, you don't have to learn new scales. Generally, what I see bluegrass players do is they throw a capo on and they're still playing G scales. For some reason, not for some reason, it's obvious. The reason they put capo on or go, B flat or A or whatever, is for the singer, whatever the best key for the singer is, because bluegrass often has vocals. They'll do a vocal verse and a chorus, and then everybody takes solos, and they'll do another verse and chorus and end the song. Like I said, bluegrass is a lot like jazz. When I play jazz gigs, when I used to play jazz gigs, we would do these what they call real book gigs. Everybody shows up with a real book. You could have 4 musicians that have never played together, but if someone says, "Hey, all the things you are, 1, 2," and everybody pulls up all things you are, right? And and everybody plays. You know, you got a sax player. The sax player plays the melody. Guitar player all play the chords, and then sax player will go on to a solo over the chord changes a couple times, and then goes to the guitar player, and then it goes to the bass player, and it goes to the drummer, and so on and so forth. And then you play the head again, and then you're done. And then you play the next song, and people will come up and go, "Wow, you guys sound great together. How long have you played together?" And you usually lie and say, "Oh, you know, we do a lot of gigs together. It's the first time you've ever played together." And sometimes I've actually done situations where the four of us have never played with each other in any way, shape, or form. So it's just like somebody just threw the band together because they needed a band for a wedding or whatever, and you just do it. Let's see. Daytime, good to see you. Hi, enjoying the stream and listen. Oh, you're a new guitar player too. Well, good, awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it. Let's see. It was just a little quip. Yeah, but I understand the. I did a song for. They play it every now and then, whenever on Price is Right with Drew Carey. I wrote a song with a friend of mine, and it was called "Hooked on Grass." And so, whenever they do like a country, like whenever they like do some kind of country, I don't know, episode version of the show, or they do maybe some kind of giveaway that's, you know, related to somehow to, like, I don't know, if they're giving a tractor away, I don't know what they would give away that would. Then they'll use our song "Hooked on Grass." So, just thought it was a funny name. Hey, Happy Dollars here. Okay, so let's go through these shapes up the neck again. The G shape, open, 3 open strings, 4th string open, 3rd string open, and 2nd string open. And then let's go here, 5th fret, same 3 strings, 5th fret, 4th fret, and 3rd fret. Okay, same 3 strings. We're going to go, 9, 7, and 8. And if you want, we can go all the way to the 12th fret. Here's the interesting thing too about it is it got a very bugle-y sound, right? You notice that? What's the bugle? Because bugles can only play triads, isn't that right? And it could be, you know, like you're sitting on G chord. And you go to the C chord. You just kind of go through the triads. So those are the G triads. The C triads starting here. And so the shape all the ways after this shape here is going to be this one. So we have the shape here that I have written there, right here, the one to the left. That's a C triad. We got E, G, and C. And then here we have G, C, and E. Same 3 notes in a different order. And then the next one is here, 10, 9, 8. We lose. Are we buffering? It suddenly went to 0 here. I'm not sure what. It's saying I'm getting, oops. Interesting. Huh. Yeah, I still haven't ordered new strings. I'll do it later. See, I'm gonna forget again. I was like, oh, I'll do it later. I'll set a reminder later. Well, I have to set a reminder to remind me to order strings. But I want to order, this guitar is starting to get a little buzzy, and I think it's because I've been playing on this guitar with light strings, and Martins really recommend that you use medium strings on them, especially this era that doesn't have truss rods. See, there's no way to adjust this neck, so they were designed to have medium strings on. So I'm probably going to up the string, even though I'm not looking forward to it because it won't play as easy, but it'll sound better. My nails are a mess. I just probably need to take more vitamin D or something. Oh, Bruce, are you on? Are you Eastern time or are you Central time? I asked you and you probably answered and I didn't see the answer. Okay, and then the D shape. So the C shape one was here, here, here. I guess you could go here, but that's really kind of tough with the body getting in the way. If you have a cutaway, you could probably do basically this shape up an octave. So it'd be 14, 12, and 13. Same exact shape. Oops. And then the D shape here. Okay, so F sharp, A, and D. And then here's the D shape here. 7th fret bar. Okay, East Coast. And then here, 12, 11, 10. Exactly, like I said, these shapes, or I think it was John White that said, his teacher taught him that the shapes repeat themselves, and they're the same for every triad. And the next shape is going to be the next shape every time. So that just sounds funny. But where's Holly? Is anybody? Did you guys talk about this? Has Holly been on here at all? She probably thinks it's Tuesday. She probably because remember she went on Monday, thinking, yeah, I know I saw East Coast. Stop with the stop signs. That's funny. Okay, so let's do this. Let's do. Okay, so I'm gonna do. Oh, she has internet problems. Oh, dang it. Because they're getting snow up there, I think. We're getting, it's supposed to rain today, not going to happen, but we're getting rain the next 2 days for sure. So I'm thrilled because it'll fill up my pool for free and water my grass for free. That's the biggest bill here in Los Angeles is the water bill. And it's only because I have grass and I like it. After living in an apartment with concrete all around you for 32 years, 31 and a half years or whatever it was, kind of enjoying living with grass again. So that's kind of why I've got it. I mean, maybe someday, if we're still here 10 years from now, we'll go with a pure, probably the governor will make us put gravel in our yard instead of grass. Although they have plenty of water up in Sacramento. I don't know. They ship it down here. Most of our water comes from like the snow melt and everything. They really do nothing to collect it here. See, and I think it's a new rule now on new housing. You have to have cisterns. But cisterns, and seem like a great idea, but they also can be like, if they're not done right, they can be a haven for mosquitoes and stuff. So, but. Oh, you did use the blower. It was heavy. Okay. It was heavy snow. All right. I was wondering about that. All day yesterday, I was wondering if Sam was going to shovel by hand or use the blower. So, Sam, you should if you get a big snow, post a picture in Discord. Okay. And then I'll follow it up with a picture of my backyard or something like that. Or the beach or something. Sorry. it's definitely nice living in California, but I think there's, you know, obviously there's definite negatives. Yeah, that's right. You're having flooding, John. I forgot about that. Yep. Yeah, we definitely need more rain. We get mudslides when we get too much rain, mainly because the hills are so dry and then they just get saturated. And the weight of it just pulls it down. Um, let's see. All right, so um, any questions on this? Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. All right, Mamba, no problem. You take care. Oh, another. Okay, you beat me to it. Man, Holly is bumming right now. I found that song that I couldn't remember the verses to. I found that song. I actually thinking I should record it. I I don't like. It's really hard to sing without a guitar in your hand. For me, it's really hard, like, to sing with while playing guitar. I feel like it helps me tune a little bit. I'm not the best in tune singer, and I feel like, but the problem is you can record vocals at the same time as guitar, but you can't edit it. So it has to be, it's difficult to punch in. I mean, you can punch in both instruments, but then you've got two crossfades and it's very difficult because it's just too much, you know, the microphone you're going to use on your voice is going to pick up some guitar, and the microphone you're going to use on the guitar is going to pick up some voice. So it's better to record those two things separately. But I have a hard time singing when I'm not strumming on a guitar. Like it's really, and maybe it's just, I need to practice it. It's like something you just haven't sat down to practice. And then I think one of the things is, and I've produced vocals before, I've produced records, I've worked with singers, for 40 years. And the thing I always tell every singer is get it to sound in your head or in your ears, in your headphones, exactly the best it can sound for you. What's the best? Because everyone's different. Some people like to hear a lot of themselves and very little of the track. You know, maybe kind of this 70-30 or 65-35 split. Others are like 50-50. They really want to hear themselves in the track, that maybe where the mix is going to be. If it's a pop record, the vocals are always like 60% of the mix. But if it's a rock record, you're almost at 50-50. So if you're doing a rock vocal like that, and so this would be probably the song that I sang yesterday. Would probably, will you sing a few lines? Yeah, it was, I see myself as blind. I think of myself as thoughtless. I feel like I'm so unfeeling, like I don't know what the cost is. I know I'm so unknowing. I've heard I'm also deaf. I had nothing to begin with, and there's nothing left. So that's the chorus of the song, and it's clearly like an alt country vibe. You know, not your typical country song about a pickup truck or a dog or something like that, or, you know, a girl in Daisy Dukes, nothing like that. It's more like I said, when I write, when I would write, that's an old song. I wrote it. I found it. I wrote it in '97, and I generally, when I was writing lyrics, a top line, which I don't really do anymore, at least not for others. Writing is very therapeutic, It's kind of like writing in a journal in some ways. And also, I was basically my standard operating procedure was to put a target on my chest and fire away. You know, I was just taking jabs at myself. And there might be something instructive for other people because they might be, you know, thinking the same thoughts as I'm thinking. But that was kind of my MO for writing. And most of the songs I wrote were sung by other people, like Beth or my friend Kirk when I had a band before I met Beth. And those were, you know, sometimes they would be, you know, introspective songs, and sometimes they would be message songs about society or whatever. Very rarely wrote love songs. It wasn't a thing. But I have oh, the day I walked outside with my camera. I'm just trying to keep up here on the make sure that, so that song, but I found the verses and I wrote, oh yeah, so the song is actually called Not Far From Where I Stand. It's one of my favorite songs I've ever written. So I think I will record it, but singing the vocals, I'm just probably going to have to do it a million times until I get a vocal. I see, this is the problem. I don't know that I'll ever get a vocal that I like. What I'm hearing in my head is not what comes out the front of my head. You know what I mean? Because when you're singing or even talking, you know how you always say, oh, when you hear yourself record it, your voice record, you go, that doesn't sound like me. It's because you're hearing your voice with your skull resonating as well and everything about that, you know, your ears and whatever. And then you hear it coming from a speaker and it's like, wait a minute, that doesn't sound like. So somehow I'm going to have to try to get that vibe. And I think that key's okay. If I'm warmed up, I should be fine. I don't think I'll stand up. I think I may sit down to sing it. I think that'll help me get it more intimate. But general rule is to stand up when you sing. But I don't want it to sound powerful. You know, I don't want it to sound show-tuney. I want it to sound broken in a lot of ways. It's one of the things that Justin does really well, although he stands when he sings. What Justin does really well is he gets that kind of crack in his voice that just kind of makes the girls swoon, you know. And so that's been his thing, that little gravel growl thing. So yeah, now hey, Shalom from Northwest Montana. Nice, good to see you, Shycaster. We've been doing this bluegrass thing for 8 weeks now. This is the 8th week. We've been doing 3 lessons a week, and we've been talking. I'll show you what we've been doing for those of you who are just joining us. So this is this week. We're learning triads now. We're learning triad shapes not so much up the neck right now. We're learning the ones at first position for the most part. I want to go up. We actually were today. We were going up the neck because I'm like, what the heck? I need to develop this and get this to give you more tools. The hard thing we're really working on with this, the triad thing, is trying to do, and it's pure alternating picking instead of economy picking, which there's economy picking. Economy picking feels real hesitant to me, and I do use it a lot, like. You know, I'll use economy picking a lot of times, especially on electric guitar when I'm doing those kind of phrases. I'm a good singer. I don't know about that, but thank you. I need that confidence, actually. So keep saying stuff like that, and that'll help me sing. Because that is, so my point about working with singers is having the 50-50 in the mix. Do you want reverb? Do you want delay? You know, some singers will sing, well, I'll work with Taboo, and he'll sing with pitch correct on it. And they'll have it set hard so he can sing whatever he wants and it's automatically in tune. And I'm like, I tried doing that just for fun and I just couldn't do it. Yep, Hendrix, Trower, and Zappa. Yeah, man, you totally. I know exactly what you were listening to. Yeah, and the same thing for me for the most part. I mean, maybe I'm a little, just a skosh behind you. I'm 50. I'm 59. So I'll be 60 this year. We'll have a celebration. And then maybe Friday I'll do I'll set up a Zoom after our lesson. We'll go do a Zoom like meet and greet thing. Let's see. Okay, so what I was going to say was here. So this was this week. Last week we did the G Dorian scale. Let me go to the first week. And the first week of the bluegrass thing, and again, the whole lesson series came about because I was asking everybody what they wanted to do next. Because we're lesson 168 since COVID lockdown started here in California. And for the first 62 days, I was doing one a day, literally 62 days in a row, at 11 o'clock every day for 2 hours. It was crazy. And then, but we got to this point where I was like, what are we going to learn next? I've taught so many different things, Hey, Holly's here finally. Gosh. Oh, you had a windstorm? Okay. Your interwebs are out. Yeah. You didn't miss anything. I'm about ready to start the lesson now. Just been chit-chatting the whole time. So somebody said, it may have been Holly, I don't remember who said it, but what do you want to learn? And I was like, that's a great idea. Why don't we learn something together? So I've always been wanting to work better on my bluegrass playing, and it's gotten better, actually a lot better in the last 8 weeks. Because I was, teaching is the best way to learn something. And, there were times when I was teaching kids, back when I was 17, 18, 19 years old, I barely stay ahead of some of them. But that kept me growing, particularly if I was doing some kind of book thing. I have to okay, I need to make sure I'm at least a page ahead of them in the book. So the first week we did 3 lessons on the G major scale. And every week, we learned a song, I wrote a song every week. So this is the first week I haven't done it, but I will. I should have a song by Friday. We'll see. I got a lot of things I want to do, don't I? I got an unboxing to do for Sam. Hey, Sam, don't tell people about other YouTubers. What are you doing? Every week we learned, it's like, so the first week we learned Uncle Jan's Reel. And so you can see I pinned the Discord up there. Do I still have that here? Yep. Here. No, that's the YouTube jam. But here's the jam we've been playing with. We're got the highest view count we've had so far. This is awesome. Okay. So just kind of recounting the last 8 weeks we've been spending on bluegrass. And so the first week we did G major scale, and I wrote a song, and I called it Uncle Jan's Reel because reel is another like jig song tune. It's another word it's kind of a cool old fashioned word for song. Dennis's Uncle Jan died of COVID that week, and I said, can I name it after him? And so he said that would be great, and so I did. And it was a dear uncle to Dennis, one of his favorite uncles, I think he said. Hopefully I'm not putting words in your mouth. But then the next week we did the pentatonics, the major pentatonics, okay? And so you can see the shapes here, and you can see the scales here, and that's the chord progression there, that thing is. And so I wrote a song called Pent Up that was just those scales. Okay, maybe I'll play some of these. And then the next week we added blues notes to those. And it came up that I hate naming instrumental songs. I do it all the time because I'm always writing music for TV and instrumental music. So like, for example, the Hooked on Grass song that I wrote for Let's Make a Deal. It's like, that actually was a pretty funny title. But this one shows you that I hate naming songs. Inigo Montoya from Rancho Cucamonga. And this is the one I did for the third week, live stream bluegrass song number 3. So we're going to have number 8 this week. I'll have to write it, but it's just going to be the exercise. It's just going to be mostly chord shapes. I might throw some licks in there, but for the most part, it'll be chord shapes. And then the next week we learned the major scale. Well, we already did the major scale, but we did the Mixolydian scale. And the reason I have the major scale written there with the Mixolydian scale, so here's the major scale, but here's the new scale we learned, okay, was so that you could see the difference between the two, that there's a subtle difference. It's one note difference between G major and G Mixolydian. The major has an F sharp and the Mixolydian has an F. But yet it creates this really kind of fun vibe. And I came up with the title of this song because it was, because I said playing G major scale over this chord progression is kind of like bringing your parents breakfast in bed. Playing the G Mixolydian scale is like flipping off your parents. So I said, I called it flipping off the parents. All right. See how funny I am? All right. I'm a barrel of monkeys. All right. I'm just a monkey. All right. So that's the first four. And then the next week we went to the blues pentatonic. So now we got a lot of notes that are in contrast with the major sound of the G, D, C chords progression, the 1, 4, 5 chord progression. You know, I could probably make this a little bigger. Not that it needs to be, you know it, but so we did 3 different scales: a G minor pentatonic to maybe play over the G chord, which actually the G minor pentatonic would work for the whole chord progression if you wanted. The G minor 6 pentatonic instead of a C minor pentatonic. We talk about that. So if you go back, why did I not use C minor pentatonic? We talk about that. But the G minor 6 pentatonic also could be played throughout the whole progression. And then D minor pentatonic, which also could technically be played throughout the whole progression. But that was that, and I wrote bluegrass, or bluesgrass, because we're using blue minor scales. And actually, I probably should have saved that name for the next week, because the next week we did blues scales, which we called that one Sad Dad Bachelor Pad. So this song is not naughty title available. Oh, that's right. I forgot about that, Holly. This song is not naughty. That probably had some reference to the G string, right? Oh, that's right. That was the G string. So could I do a whole song with a G string? I'm sure I could write a whole song. That might be a great exercise. I'm touching my face. One of the things I said a few lessons ago was that one thing you could do is learn all the scales we've been learning, and I wrote them all out. In fact, there they are. There's the first 6 G scales: the G major, the G major pentatonic, the G major blues pentatonic, which you have to know to play the what's called in bluegrass the G lick. Okay. So that lesson is that week. If you want to go, that would be bluegrass week, or that would be the 3rd week. And then the Mixolydian, and then the minor pentatonic, and then Disney Princess voice. I got to get an iPad. Yeah, that's another one. And then the blues progression, or blues scale. And so that was Sad Dad Bachelor Pad, and that was week 6. And then last week's was, we learned the Dorian, which if you add up all the notes that are in the G minor pentatonic, G minor 6 pentatonic, and D minor pentatonic, you would get the Dorian scale. A Dorian scale is a major scale with a flat 3rd and a flat 7th. And so you've got a lot of things that, now see, there's the scales there. I wrote them all out. You can see that, okay? And if you can play those scales on the G string, G major pentatonic, G major blues, the G Mixolydian, the G minor pentatonic, and the G minor blues, and then the G Dorian. You could play literally all the scales we've learned on one string. And the reason you would do that is to go from... If you wanted to get up the fretboard, you could use it as a tool. I like it. I like to use it as, oh, I can get rid of this. That should go away. Where is that? Is that this? Yeah. Delete. Yes. Okay. Now, yep, and all of these songs can be downloaded for free at the Discord. So if you go to the Discord, I've got the invite link right there pinned to the top of the live chat. You can go to the Discord, join up, and continue the discussion. It's keep it cool, no politics, no religion, nothing like that. This is just about guitar. We'll just talk about me. It's only to talk about me. So that's the job. That's what it's all about. No, yeah, like I said, one of my favorite Bette Midler quotes is, "Enough about me. What do you think about me?" Wildwood Flower. That's right. That's a great song. I do have Beaumont Rag, I think, which is, we determined that it is public domain. So I think it's public domain. So we could feasibly learn that together. That might be something we do, or Wildwood Flower. I don't know if that one's public domain. So the G Dorian was Write Down Everything I Say. So that's the last song we've done in this group. And the next song is going to be called Not Economical, though. I think I'm going to go with that. But this song is not naughty. Yeah. So let me see if I can play over the chord progression with just on the G string. All right, let's try that. Might be a little tough. I might have to pull the D string in a couple times, but I'll try to do it. Okay. The only time where the G string is going to sound a little weird is over the D chord. So you're going to want to maybe avoid the open G string at that point. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I pulled in the D string there just so I had something to go down to, but so much. So the G, that learning the scales on the G string, even just the G major scale, will help give you a tool to get you up the neck if you need to. So and back down. idea musically, but I didn't suss it out. Okay. so anyway, so that you can use the G string, but so we might have to write this song is not naughty, which is a great song title for instrumental stuff. I'm doing a whole series of drone type stuff for this one show, and I'm having to come up with names that, you know, first one was called "Bad to the Drone." So I'm just any song with the word bone in it, I'm just gonna replace the word bone with drone, and then there's the song title. But that way they know it's a drone song when they, you know, if they're looking for drones. It's basically under dialogue. They need these kind of patty kind of things. There's not even guitar. I'll probably be working on them today and tomorrow, and Friday, and I won't even be hardly picking up my guitar at all. So that's why this is so much fun, because I get to play guitar. Yeah, you know, the nice thing about using like one string to do stuff and to pull off. I mean, in some ways, that's actually really, really simple. The hard part is memorizing the scale up the string. But your left hand isn't doing very much. You know, literally, I'm playing it with one finger. So it's not, fingering wise, it's not a lot to learn. It's just memorizing the notes in that scale. And you could do it also on the D string and the B string. Those strings, all the strings, you know, ultimately would be great if you could play, you know, you knew the notes all the way up and down the strings without even thinking. That would be great. You get there eventually. Drone with the wind. Gone with the wind. Yeah, Gone with the Wind. Yeah, Drone with the Wind. Yeah, that's not a bad one. Hillbilly Drone. Drone in the Wind. Let's see. So one trick for coming up with names is to go to like, I don't know if you've ever gone to songfacts.com, but it'll have information about songs. And so if I just enter the word bone, that's what I was going to do. I've got 400 Bones, Bad to the Bone, George Thorogood, already. So Bare Bones, Black Cat Bone, Mission UK. Let's see, Johnny Winter had a song called Black Cat Bone too. Bone Dry, the Eels. Pixies had Bone Machine, so I could have Drone Machine. A lot of songs called Bones. Dan Fogelberg had Bones in the Sky, so I could have Drones in the Sky. Bones of Birds, Soundgarden. So there's a lot of, you know, there's a lot of them. This would be great. I can get drone names from this all day long. This is perfect. I may even create folders now, so I just have the names already set up. But my droney over the sea. All right, stop it. You're not helping. John Y. Just got back for a few minutes from work. I wanted to say I had to untangle my fingers this morning after going through your octave exercise last night. Oh, nice. Yeah, how does that go on? Hey, Leanne, thank you so much. Your tips are really helpful for me to grasp the systematic approach. Also, thanks to Holly for helping me in my English pronunciation with my song. Oh, nice. Let's see. So Lena, you're in. Are you in? You joined the Discord. So did you post a song in Discord? I'm not on Discord very much. So if you're expecting to see me there, let's see. You may not, but let's see. Your own stuff. Oh, see, there's okay. Here we go. I see Gary. Oh yeah, there it is. Awesome. Okay, I'm gonna check it out. My Bonnie. Okay, very good. Very fun. I like your setup. You got a keyboard. You got a microphone. What kind of mic is that? I can't see the mic. Gear talk. Gear lust. All right, so I'll check that out later. Yeah, you don't want to pronounce lice. But other than that, yeah. So And thank you. And see, and it's a very helpful, non-judgmental, non-threatening Discord group, which is probably pretty rare for Discord. Okay, and then so this is the eighth week, and I feel like so I will write a song using these shapes. Okay, for Friday. So that's what we'll work on Friday. Next week we're probably going to talk more about triad shapes, but we're going to go up the neck. Maybe we'll learn the major triads. Also, we'll probably end up having like 3 long, skinny fretboards where I can write all of the triads up and down. Okay, so I'll mess around with that. I may have to make those. I made those in basically Word. Oops. Oh. Okay, so Sylvester Peer owns the copyright to Wildwood Flower. I think so. 1960. That means it probably won't be public domain until 2035, if I'm not mistaken. Unbeknownst to the Carter family who sang it and Ralph Peer who copyrighted it, Wildwood Flower was largely based on an old parlor ballad from 1860 called I'll Twine Mid the Ringlets. Oh, well, if we're just playing the melody, then we're probably fine. And then you saw that he has that up on the Flat Picking Apprentice, right? He had Wildwood Flower, I think. Oh, did he? Practice tracks? Yeah, there's Wildwood Flower. There's the practice track. Did he? Oh, tab. Here's the tab. Let's see. Oh, interesting. Wildwood Flower. HWHI. Where are you? There you are. You see. Let's see what that was. That it? No. Oh, it's a Teft. Hey, I don't have that. Is that also? No. Yeah, Norma Blake's. So I'll find it. If we could do it, that's a good one. I've heard that title many times before, so I know it's a fairly common. Let me see. I see different people playing it, but I don't see. And the chord progressions, it's a 5 measures, interesting, and then no 5th measure. It's so interesting, isn't it? It's kind of like, so often these were written in, by very uneducated musicians, but that's what makes them so cool. Break the rules. You can't have a 5 measure phrase. Why not? That's what I heard. So, let's see. Yeah, it's been covered by a lot of artists, it looks like, yeah. Yeah, I think we'd be fine with that, especially if at the pace we probably would be playing it. So that that could be this channel is actually going to ultimately be like the Bluegrass Live channel, unintentionally, because if we keep going on this, it's definitely. And I feel like again, I'm really ignorant about bluegrass. I'm learning in all this, and so Beaumont Rag, Wildwood Flower. I have the sense that it's very, very much like a jazz gig. In a lot of jazz gigs, players don't even have the real book. I mean, it's the non-jazz players that have to use the real book. Jazz players will be like, oh, okay, all the things you are in F minor or whatever, and everybody just plays it because they know it. And that's the same. I feel that's the same way in a bluegrass kind of world, is that they just call out songs like, "Oh, let's do Wildwood Flower." Okay, here we go, play it, and somebody starts singing, and there you go. Exactly. Rules are made to be broken. But see, that's the thing. So often, so much of this music was written by people who didn't even know the rules. So you know, they weren't breaking rules as much as they were. It's just like the Beatles, the same thing. They were creating stuff, and it's just like when you're writing, and that's the frustrating thing about writing this stuff is that I'm playing by rules, and I have to stick to the rules when I'm writing these songs because we're trying to use the song to learn a new scale or something. But like the Beatles, they didn't have any rules. They just did what sounded good to them, and then you know you let other people analyze why it worked later. You know, they just thought it worked. It's same with Charlie Parker was classic. You know, you can't play a flat 9. You know, you can't play a B flat over an A7 chord. And he's like, why not? It sounds great when you go to the A into the G and then you go to the F sharp for the D chord or whatever. That was, you know, like I said, rules were made to be broken. And Charlie Parker probably knew the rules because I know he practiced his scales. But he would also go, oh, you know what is cool is when I play the C scale over the A7 chord, it has all sorts of notes in it that sound different. Or if I play the B flat harmonic minor scale over the A7, it sounds really interesting, you know. So there's definitely people throughout history who have either broken the rules or didn't know the rules, and then new rules were written based on their playing, you know, and writing. So, all right, yeah, Jim's sensing that I'm kind of, I'm getting to the end of my. So I think Friday maybe we'll try to. I got a lot of stuff I want to do today, so I probably should get to it. Friday will be. Will be more of the same, but I'm probably going to show you the scales, and I hope to have a song by Friday, and then Friday maybe afterwards we'll have we'll do like a Zoom. If not this week, we'll try to do one next week. Okay, just depends. If I get busy, I may not be able to do it, and I'll let you know on Discord. So click on that Discord link if you're not already a member, and then if you're just now joining, like daytime, if you're just now joining these lessons, bluegrass. If you just go to my channel and enter the word bluegrass and then click on the live stream, if you search for bluegrass in my channel, you'll see the jam tracks, and then you'll also see all of these lessons because I put bluegrass in the title of these lessons. So let's see if I'm not exactly sure how you get there, but if I were to go back to the beginning of these lessons, it would be lesson where I guess we've done 24 now. So lesson 146 is the first. So these are all intro to bluegrass. Technically, is what these all are. A long intro to bluegrass. So, and you know, some of them are getting up there. It's interesting. So far, we've got 320 views today. The first one's got 1,300, then 1,300, then 1,000, then over 1,300, then 700, 800, 1,200. So it's getting, there's one here, lesson 153. Oh, it was a part 2 thing. That's right, because my internet cut out or something like that. So anyway, yeah. So we've covered quite a bit of ground in the last 8 weeks. I feel like, and then. All right, so yeah, so I'll try to find a PDF of Wildwood Flower, and then this flat pick apprentice, and I've got the page actually pulled up. I think here. Let me give you this if you want. You can see a couple of videos of playing it. And then there's all sorts of he's got the rhythm progression looped at 150, 160, 170 beats per minute, 180, all the way up to 230. So it must be a pretty ripping fast song. Carter Family has it here, and so and also who is that? I don't know who that is. That may be actually Dave, the guy that started it. So all right. Oh, for guitar, brand names for mandolin. Somebody tabbed it out for mandolin. Not there. Dang it. Yeah, well, Wildwood Flower PDF. If you go to Google, like, and enter Wildwood Flower PDF, you probably, and then click, here's one here. I don't know if this is right. Yeah, this could be similar. That looks very simple, but it is 5 bars. Yeah, so this is it. I'm sure there's others. Oh yeah, okay. Here's a very, very simple version where it's just the melody. Oh, right. I forgot yet. I didn't know the name. That's got, yeah. So that one will be fun. We'll find a version of it that has some licks built into it. And you see, this is somebody that's done finger picking. Oh, this is for, what is this for? Ukulele? Oh, this is for, oh, banjo. This is banjo. We're not going to do banjo. I might migrate to, although I would love to get better at banjo. If you all buy banjos, we could do banjo lessons. Here's, this one looks like. Yeah, so this one, see, has that, a lot of chords. It's kind of, oh no. It's kind of doing the banjo version, cross-picking, forward roll, kind of thing. So it would be more for this. This arrangement appears to me be. Same thing. So it appears to be almost more of a finger picking thing, but it says cross picking, so I think you could probably. And that might, cross picking might be another word, Sam. Is that another term for alternating picking? Because you would be crisscrossing yourself. There's a lot of versions here, a lot of versions. So I'm going to try to find one that has licks in it. Maybe I'll do my own. Or maybe I'll transcribe. See, I'm sure somebody's transcribed one of the versions. But it looks like a lot of the audio versions have vocals over it. So we need an instrumental version. And again, I'm sure that's been done 1,000 times. So, all right. So I'm going to take off because I've got some things I want to do today. Baby, I may post a new video up for, that may be the first thing I do is post a new video up on TikTok. And then I'll probably do the unboxing video today too. So I may get around to that, Sam. So you get to see the Greek bouzouki, okay? And yes, cross picking. So play on a mandolin, yeah. Banjos are funny. You can find banjos for $20 sometimes at thrift stores. Just kind of keep your eyes open, and you want a 5-string banjo with the banjo, the tuning peg that has a tuning peg halfway up. And then Elixir makes banjo strings. You just put that on there, and they'll be good for a year, even if you don't play it. You can just hang it on the wall. I think I have 5 banjos. No, wait. No. 1, 2, 3. I have 4 banjos. Yeah. Well, one's a banjolele, but anyway. Okay. So, and this is kind of like a banjo, actually. This is a tumbi from India, so it's definitely a funny instrument. It's also got friction tuner, which I hate those. The 1-to-1 gear ratio. It's just got like tape in here to hold it in. I didn't do that tape, but it seems to actually work. I may have to utilize that on my oud. But yeah, so that's my latest. I've got, and in fact, I've got to do a video of my latest purchase. Once I get the Greek bouzouki up and running, I'll do a video of my latest purchases for my composers. It's one of my business tricks is to once I got 3 new instruments, I'll do a video about them and then send it to all the composers so they can add that to their list of potential flavors for their scores and call me again and often and whatever. So, okay, so oh, you're a Greek guy. Oh, that's right. Yeah, you give me a lesson on playing the Greek bouzouki. I don't know yet. I'm going to have to learn myself. So I'm probably going to be watching some YouTube videos on that. The main thing I will be asked to do on the Greek bouzouki will be playing melodic lines, not so much playing legit Greek. Or if a composer I'm working for is writing some legit Greek music, then what I will do is I will play whatever he's written. And if he writes legit sounding Greek stuff, it'll sound Greek. It'll sound idiomatic to the instrument. But I'll probably use the instrument in other ways too. I always like doing that, messing them up. And Bruce, when I get the cigar box guitar, that'll be one of the ones that I'll put in that. You know, I can say, hey, I've got a cigar box guitar now, so if you need that on something, that one actually I may do a special video. I'll do a video for YouTube for it, but I may do a special video for my composers that I work with. Mainly because that thing could be very much 3 or 4 instruments in one. It could be a slide instrument, it could be a fingered instrument, it could be acoustic, and it could be electric. So you've got all these different components about it that could be really, really cool. So anyway, okay, so that's where we're at. First things first, I'm going to try to catch Lena's song, okay? And then I will talk to you all later, and God bless you guys. Thank you so much for watching. We got up there pretty good. We got up to 45. We'll see how many new subscribers I have. A lot of that is from the TikTok. So my handle at TikTok is the Strahle. There is a Tom Strahle that has a guitar on it. I think somebody just grabbed that thinking that I would want it. But I'm fine with the Strahle. And then once I get a certain number, I can actually get verified. I'll get verified here when I hit 100,000. So I've still got 10,000 new subscribers to go. I'm almost to 89, right? Bruce, let's see. Where am I? 88,815. So I'm about 200 subscribers away from, so I should hit 89,000 this week. By Valentine's Day, I should have 90,000, I would think, at the rate I'm going. So anyway, see you on Friday, okay? I hope you're doing well. Stay safe. Don't drive in the snow if you don't have to. And maybe we'll do a Zoom thing if I can figure out how to create a Zoom event, all right? And then I'll post a link. Do I have to email it to you? That may have to. I say, well, maybe I can't just post a link and then we all join. I'm not sure. So, oh, I had to leave and yep, no, stuff happens. 22, yeah, I can imagine what was going on in Greece in 1922. Okay, God bless you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.